We'll call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. This is the regular meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for the town of Kent, Connecticut. This meeting is being recorded. Roll call, we have myself, Chairman Ann Basinius, Dan Schiesel, Steve Penner, John Johnson, Dan Murray, and Justin Potter. And I guess I have to do roll call first and then elevate, or can I do it at the same time?
I don't think there's any rules on that. You just see who you have when you're ready.
And I will elevate Justin Potter for this evening's meeting as well. All right. Do we have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So move.
Thank you, John.
Second. Whoop.
I'll give Dan with the second.
Which Dan?
Dan Murray.
Okay.
Thank you. All those in any discussion? Sorry. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Abstention.
Fair enough. The next item would be the reading and approval of the meeting minutes of the regular meeting that was held on August 13th, 2024. Kudos to Donna for capturing those.
Yes.
Sir,
did you say that there was a correction?
no, I didn't say that there was a
Oh,
correction.
well, I'm sorry.
We need a motion to approve and then we can discuss.
Okay. So moved.
Thanks, John. Second,
Second.
Dan Schiesel with the second. Thank you.
I have one comment on page 2, the third paragraph says the state can step, I think you mean step in to decide.
Yeah, that was me, right?
I don't know. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes. I think it should probably be step in to be clear. That's probably what I said, but. Any other errors or omissions, corrections?
I have one question.
Yes, Dan.
Page 7, 7.1, I believe. So Dan Schiesel withdrew his motion to deny so that the board can get clarification on the statute from their attorney.
That was the July minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
These are the only minutes that I have access to.
So in the Google folder for tonight's meeting, there are minutes. We can table them, the approval to the next meeting if you need time to.
I can't open that.
Open that.
I have a problem with Google, evidently. I'm sorry. So what happened? Can someone give me a summation?
At the July meeting?
No, at the August meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thoroughly confused then. I have the minutes for the July meeting.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, and there was a subsequent meeting,
Yes.
and I do not have those.
Okay. So do we want to table the minutes for you to review them?
If I could find them, I'd love to, but I don't even know if I have access to them.
What I'm saying is we could table the approval of the minutes until a future meeting, which would allow you time to get access and review them.
I'd love that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I withdraw my motion.
Okay.
to approve and move that we table them to our next regular meeting.
Do I have a second
Second,
discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We will revisit those at our next meeting. And we can, if you swing by the office, I'm sure they can give you a hand if you're not able to get into that drive.
yeah, I was there today and they were helpful, but I didn't realize I couldn't open up the minutes because of some problem with Google.
All right, we'll get you straightened out. All right, I will open the first public hearing. It's application 5.1, or excuse me, agenda item 5.1, application 05-24, Robert Blank and Jill Solomon, 52 Treasure Hill Road, map 11, block 34, lot 38, relief from section 3240, front yard setback, and section 9120.4.b. All right. Mr. Blank, would you like to tell us about your application? Just identify yourself and.
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Bob Blank, officially Robert Blank in the application, and I'm joined here by my wife, Jill Solomon. We live on 52 Treasure Hill Road. We moved into the property back in 2021 during the COVID lockdown. And we've been loving living here in Kent and enjoying the property. One of the issues that we have that we'd like to address as part of this application is the front entranceway to the house. Is largely, it's not really an entranceway. You open the door and you're right in basically the living room. And so what we would like to do is, with the existing footprint of the house, there's basically, as you see in the pictures that we provided, there's a little indentation underneath the roof line to get to the front door. We'd like to basically build and extend out and close off that indentation in the frame of the house to give us greater entranceway essentially, and then in front of that build up just a little open portico so that as you're coming into the front door there's an overhang that can kind of shield out the rain or the elements. And so it's a very modest, I think, change to the actual footprint of the house, but given just the way our property is set up so close to the setback on the road, everything that we do on the property requires us to come before the board to get the variance.
Okay. And for clarification, you're saying that you're enclosing the existing sort of
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know.
heated area.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Adding
Basically a little cover roof over the top of it. So there's a little bit of
Okay.
covering now, but as you come to open the door, you're not sort of standing in the rain.
Right. And that portico, how far does that extend from?
It would be 5 feet
5
from
feet.
the front
Okay.
door, from where the line is today for the frame of the house.
That's there already.
Okay. And I think that the application, as I last reviewed it, looked like it had an approximate
No, we changed it.
Sure.
We got it confirmed. It's 11 feet.
11 feet. Okay, thank you. All right. Mm, mm, mm. Anything else about the property, the hardship, the,
I don't think, I mean, it's really just from a quality of life, and it's just hard to come in the house with more than one person. The door kind of opens
Into
right
the house.
into the house by the bathroom on the left. If 2 people are there, they can't get by each other. So really what we would like to just give ourselves a little bit more space as people are coming in the
Yeah.
front door, so that it's a little bit more user friendly to not only ourselves, but others. I can't get out the door with a like a luggage because you're banging into the table and the door, you're trying to squeeze around it. So we're just trying to give ourselves a little bit more space and room so that there's not so much sort of confinement as we're going in and out of the house.
okay.
Could you make the argument that it might be more safe to implement this this plan that you hope to build?
I think that's a fair statement. Just getting the speed to get in and out of the house with more than one person is difficult, given that the space we have in that little entranceway is quite confined. It's really a one person, nothing carrying. You just need to kind of work your way around the doors that opens in on you.
Yeah, comes in.
So yes, I think that's a fair statement.
Good.
Okay. And the corner of the existing structure is the part that's closest to the road, is that correct?
Correct. I think that on the scheme is around 7 feet to the to the road or to the property line. We would not be building up against that. We would be somewhat set back from that.
Okay. Have all the adjoining property owners been notified?
They have
Yes.
Was there any communication received back, Ty, on
nothing
that?
back. Oh, sorry to you guys. Not to us.
That's okay. Someone.
No, we didn't receive anything, but we do have the mailing receipts.
Okay, awesome. All right. Anything else to add, or I'll open it up to the commissioners to ask any questions?
I think we're done. You can go ahead.
All right. Commission, you have questions for the applicant?
I have a question for Ty, actually. You sent out, part of the package was the application, then the revised application, if I remember right. But I don't see any difference in the second one. Or did I print out the same thing twice?
Could it be the one issue that we were questioned on, which was when we initially applied, we said approximately 11 feet. And the question was, is it approximate? You can't have approximate. You need to have exact measurements. And I confirmed that the approximate should be exact.
That was the only change. He had kind of like a plus or minus.
Yeah.
And then somewhere else he noted approximate, and then we just had that discussion where variances can't be approximate, and he confirmed it. So as far as I know, that was the only change to the application.
Both of them I printed out have plus or minus 11 feet and approximately 11 feet. Did I just not get the revised one printed out?
Maybe, or maybe I didn't upload it back. I'm not sure, but
Okay, but we're talking
but
about exactly 11 feet.
that's the only
That's
change in the
good.
application. I can confirm that.
Okay. Good. Anyone else? Steve, Dan, Justin?
The town has the house being built originally in 1960. Does that seem correct to you as the owner of the house?
Could be. I mean, this is the old Polly Mellon campsite that she initially kind of built the structure on, and then over time things have been added in piecemeal fashion by the subsequent owner. It feels about right. Different pieces. We have the main house, we've got a pool house, we've got a detached garage. But it feels around the 60th time frame for when it kind of went from a camping place to actually having a cement footing and a house structure on the property.
Okay, thank you.
Is everything else on the property in compliance right now? All the fence and everything like that to the road and all?
Is that a question for me or for someone from the?
Um,
I know the house has a lot of grandfathered components to it. I don't know about specific to the zoning board. I mean, like the well and things like that.
So I mean, I think I noted 3 previous variances granted by the ZBA on this property. So, I mean, given that they were granted, that's a compliance. With regard to the fence, if it's 6 feet or under, it's not considered a structure, and it does not have to adhere to any setbacks. It's not a zoning issue.
That answer your question fully, Dan? Okay. Anyone else with questions before I close the hearing? Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. can't quite read my printed out plot plan. The house itself is 8 feet from the property line. Is that the setback?
7.2, I think it says in the
7.2.
corner. Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay. I just want to be clear on that. So this is about 4 feet, almost 4 feet farther back from the, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that does it for me.
Okay, anyone else wish to speak to this?
The house is actually closer on the other end at 3.3 feet from the property line.
Oh,
This
Oh.
corner that's closest to the, so where the proposed addition would be is 7.2. It seems to even get closer as you,
Oh,
Oh, it may
Thank
be as we get closer to the fence right behind here.
and the property line seems to do like a little jog in.
mhm.
That
oh,
would be,
okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that front corner of the house was the,
that's the south corner is 3.3.
oh, okay.
I read that as from the corner to that jog rather than the property line. This, the survey's not to full scale, but, I see what you're seeing,
It looks
and
like
I
they
read it
have like,
differently.
yeah, it looks like they have like the setbacks for the house. They have 16.6, 3.3. It might be a 8 or a 6. I can't read that other one. But that's how I'm interpreting the map.
It's
Okay.
not totally clear, but the way that I interpreted it was at 5 feet at its closest point.
I mean, the whole house is within
Wait,
the setback
right.
though.
Absolutely, 100%,
Yeah.
yes,
You're right.
Okay.
but it matters that much.
Yeah.
But there's no question about the survey map, correct?
There's no question about what they're asking for today.
Right. Okay. I'm we don't need any clarifications on the map we're working with.
To make a decision.
Is that correct?
To me, I'd say correct.
Okay. Sounds good. I don't want to complicate things.
All right. If there's no other questions, then I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Thank you, Steve. Second,
Second,
John Johnson.
Yeah.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Forgot to ask. Small group tonight. Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing on that application at 7:19 PM. And we will open the public hearing for application 06-24, Bronson and Marcia Hawley, 50 Anderson Acres Road, map 16, block 27, lot 2, for construction of a 12 by 14-foot rear deck that will increase the pre-existing nonconformity. Mr. or Mrs. Hawley, would you like to unmute yourself and speak to the application?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ann. Appreciate it. I'll give you just a little background, or how do you want me to start here? Because
Or just introduce yourself and give us some background.
okay. Bronson Hall and my wife Marcia is here. This is a little cottage that we bought from my aunt Nancy Hawley Wilsey. She built it in 1968 down by Lake Warm. We're about 200 yards away from the lake. In 1987, we bought it from her. We expanded it in 2023. And basically now what we want to do is put a small deck off the back. of the sliders. My understanding is that when Nancy built the house in 1968, and I guess Ty can correct me if I'm wrong, it was conforming to everything, but I guess subsequent regulations made it a non-conforming lot in the front. It's too close, I guess, to the road and in the front, but that happened after she built it, as I understand it. So we just want to have this little deck off the back. We were going to do a patio originally, but my wife and I are senior citizens, and that required like 2 or 3 steps down. So we would like to do a deck instead of a patio. We really have no neighbors where we border the DEP land on one side. The other side is my cousin, and across the street is Warren. So I don't know if anybody from the commission had the opportunity to drive by, but we really have no neighbors. So we're hoping to get this up there so we can go out and enjoy the evenings when we get up there. We're going to be living there, I think, a lot more after this year when I fully retire. So we appreciate any consideration you can give it, and I'll answer any questions that I think I can.
All right. So the map that was provided with the application, the site plan showed an addition. Does that exist? It's a proposed addition. Does that addition already exist or?
That's built. Yeah, that was
That's built.
finished a
Okay,
little over a year ago.
Okay.
So as I understand it, our deck is within all the regulations. The 12 by 14 foot off the back there.
If you look at the application, there's a sketch map in there
Yes.
that shows the actual deck. The survey does not.
I think it was the sketch that I saw. It shows like the corner goes into the setback, I
You mean
think.
this one?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what our builder, Kevin Fisher did.
and are there really no abutting property owners to notify?
Well, we notified my cousin, Bill Lang, on one side,
Okay.
and the other side is the state. And across the street is a couple that lives in New York.
We did receive back 3 certified mailing receipts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
No objections, presumably.
No comments whatsoever.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone with questions for Mr. and Mrs. Hawley?
Well, full disclosure, Bill Lang was my first dance instructor,
Oh,
but I won't hold it against you.
Well, this is
Didn't know that
This
you
is
were
Bill
dancing
Lang.
tonight.
this is Bill Lang's son, Billy.
Oh, okay.
But Bill still lives down. He's my cousin. He
Yeah, I
still
know.
lives down.
Okay.
He still lives down on the lake in that little house there that Nancy built.
I took dance lessons with him too.
You did? With Bill?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Yeah.
You know, Bill is just turned 89. And he's still haying all the fields around us.
I
It's
know.
amazing.
Good for him.
Incredible.
All right. So we have notifications. We have no concerns. Okay, so the existing structure is 30 feet from the front setback. Is that correct? From the front lot line?
Yeah, as I understand it, where that line comes through the roof overhang, that's our front porch.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes. And that is why it's non-conforming, I think. But Ty could answer that.
Yeah, so the front line distance is 30 feet, and then the left property line, I think, was at 28.
Yeah. And then this is in the rear of the house, so not
Correct.
creating further encumbrance there, but going on to a pre-existing non-conforming house, so everything is a non-conformity.
Yeah, I was just curious though,
Yes,
why, apparently we were all set to do a patio originally. But a patio is different from a deck. And I'm not sure I understand why. Is it because the deck is part of of the structure, or
I
the
would say a deck
patio
is
is not
structure.
considered? Yeah, I just wasn't sure. Why a patio is okay, but a deck needs to have approval.
Yeah, so the regulations, I mean, I can
ahead.
answer that if you'd
Oh,
like. The
okay.
regulations, define, there's a difference between, a patio that's not raised, it's not just a regular like bluestone patio is not considered a structure by the regulations, but anything attached and permanently affixed to the ground or to the existing structure is considered a structure and then subject to the setbacks defined by the zoning regulations.
Thank you.
Much more eloquently than I could.
Thank you, Ty.
Yep.
Commissioners, further questions? No questions regarding? No? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Thanks, Dan. Dan
Murray,
Murray, Dan Sheasel, did you have the second on that?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Fine.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, hearing none, we close the public hearing at 7:28 on the application 06-24. Does anyone need a recess? No, okay. Then we will reconvene the meeting and entertain action on the appeals that we heard during the public hearing. So the first is 7.1, again, application 05-24, Robert Blank and Jill Solomon, 52 Treasure Hill Road, map 11, block 34, lot 38, relief from section 3240 for the front yard setback and section 9120.4.b. Commissioners?
I have a quick question. Do we know when Kent started integrated setbacks into our zoning regulations?
I would imagine at
When they enacted zoning?
right, when they implemented zoning, was that 69 in Kent, I want to say?
Do we know when that date was though?
Oh, I have all the regulations
Yeah,
in
I'm just interested,
the
like when.
office, but off the top of my head, I want to say 69, but I don't want to commit to it because I could be off a little bit.
I'm just interested on how these setbacks have evolved over the years, if they've gotten greater or bigger, or, were they in the original zoning regs?
I can get you that information. I don't think they've changed too much. What's changed is the size of lots, I think, a bit over time, more than
Right.
the setbacks themselves. But I can do that research and get it to you if you'd like.
I mean, it just seems like we have two applications that were very close to when zoning was enacted, but just predates. So
Right,
it seems like kind of the underpinning of any hardship to me on both of these, but
right.
They are both under the current regulations, though. They have to satisfy the current regulations, and which is why they are pre-existing non-conforming.
Right. Because they're here before us today.
I mean, this is increasing the non-conformity, but I don't think it's in any detrimental way. The way it was presented on the application, that it should be more in conformity with different zones in the town. I don't think that we should accept that as a logical reason for approving this. If we do approve it, it would just be on, setback regulation rather than trying to make it more compatible with other zones in the town.
Right.
Yeah, I think that this is one of those situations where in order to make the house a little safer, as Dan said, and just more in keeping with current housing, it's the confines of the property, the location of the existing house that really creates the hardship. And I think this is minor. It's farther back. It's set back farther than the main house itself. And I'm inclined to approve it unless someone changes my mind.
I agree.
Yeah, I
Me
think
too.
the shape of the lot and the existing roadway, which who knows, I don't know at what point it may have been widened or something, but I think, you have a topography, a shape of the property that's always going to make it difficult. And I don't think that the change is dramatic or not in keeping with the neighborhood or in any way endangers the health or safety of of the community. So I would be inclined to agree with John.
So who's the wordsmith that's going to put forward the motion that complies with the language we have to use?
I'll make a motion to approve application 05-24, Robert Blank and Jill Solomon, 52 Treasure Hill Road, map 11, block 34, lot 38. Relief from section 3240 from the front yard setback in section 9120.4.b. In reviewing the application, I find that the proposal is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the zoning regulations, that there will be no impact on the public health, safety, convenience, welfare, and property values, and the variance will not affect generally the district in which the property is situated, and a literal enforcement of such regulations would result in exceptional difficulty or unusual hardship.
Fine work, Steve.
Second, Justin?
I'll second that.
All right. We have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, the motion carries for an approval of variance for application 05-24. So Ty will be in touch.
And can I just say that I'd like to express my appreciation to Ty for all of her guidance through this process. She really was a great resource, and I really want to acknowledge that support for us.
I appreciate that because we think Ty's pretty wonderful too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Right.
And then we have application 06-24 for Bronson and Marsha Hawley at 50 Anderson Acres Road, map 16, block 27, lot 2. construction of a 12 by 14 rear deck that will increase pre-existing nonconformity. Similar sort of challenge. Discussion.
So it does not increase the nonconformity. The issue is that it just adds on to a nonconforming structure.
Well, it does increase the nonconformity by state statute because anything done to a pre-existing nonconforming structure increases the nonconformity.
Okay, it's within the setbacks, the current setbacks, and it's on the back side. It sounds like there aren't any neighbors objecting to it, so
Yep.
seems fine to me.
Anyone else with comment? I'll entertain a motion then if someone would like to make one.
I'll do it again.
Yeah,
You're a
so
pro.
well.
Make a motion to accept application 06-24, Bronson and Marcia Hawley, 50 Anderson Acres Road, map 16, block 27, lot 2. Construction of a 12 by 14-foot rear deck, increasing a pre-existing non-conforming structure. In reviewing this application, I find that the proposal is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the zoning regulations, that there will be no impact on the public health, safety, convenience, and welfare and property values. The variance will not affect generally the district in which it is located, and a literal enforcement of such regulations would result in exceptional difficulty or unusual hardship.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Joan. Discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, the motion carries.
All right.
All right, very good.
I want to just quickly also repeat what Robert said. Ty and Donna were terrific. Donna especially helped me because all these things about maps and whatever, I couldn't figure it out. Lot number. It's a pleasure to be in Kent. We love it. And I really appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Good luck.
All right, moving on in the agenda, communications.
Nothing this time. All
Not
good.
even a newsletter, huh?
No, no. Quarterly time yet. No.
Okay. And then, motion to adjourn? So moved?
Also,
Thank you,
right.
everybody.
All right, have a great night.
You
Thank
too.
you. Thanks,
Good night.
Ty, Donna, for all your work on this.
Yes.
Make
And,
it easy on us.
and the information you provide for the meetings is super helpful, like the way it's all organized and things.
Well, it
That's
just
awesome.
makes it very easy for us to like hop in, and I was able to review it really quickly and get up to speed and make it look like I know what I'm doing. So appreciate it.
I know, you're like the champion of motion makers now.
yeah, I said you read the top and the bottom of Ty's sheet,
Yeah.
and we're all set, ready to
You
go.
learn my tricks.
Indeed.
You could do
Yeah.
it too, Justin. You could do it.
Next time.
There you go. All right.
right.
Thank you all very much. Have a
Okay,
good
Thank you.
evening.
Good night.
Yeah.
All.
Bye.
good night.